Absolutely.
Short and sweet, be done, huh?
Got your back.
You ready? Well, I'll call the meeting to order of the Johnson County Drainage Board for February 3rd. And guess the first thing would be you swear, Greg,
I'll go ahead and swear me in. Anybody that plans on testifying at tonight's hearing, I do, or just say at the end, I swear, I don't know how Roger does it, but I swear and affirm that the testimony that I will give before the board tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
So surveyor's report, Greg, the floor is yours.
I'm on the clock. All right. For the record, Greg Cantwell, Johnson County Surveyor. I've got a lot of information in your packets, and a lot of it Beth put together, and I thank Beth for her hard work. I'll go through it and I'll kind of pause in between them, but there's a lot there. So if you have a question, yell back at us this week, and if we can't come up with an answer, we'll make one up. My first thing is you've got 5 sheets that kind of look like this. And this is your claims on all the ditches for 2025. We did work on 30 of them. And the details of that work, the claim wise, they're on those sheets. And again, there's a lot of information there. So as you go through that this week, if you have a question, yell at us. The next set I have looks like this, and it is your ditch balance for 2025. It kind of says up here in the corner that it's for 2025.
Oh.
And that was your end of the year balances. And there are still 12 in the red, but that's much better than it has been in the past. The next 2 sheets, they go together, and this is your January report. It's the ditch balances for January and then the claims for January. And it's labeled across the top. There again, the January looks a lot like the they're pretty close to the end of the year sheet. But again, if you get into it and have a question, yell at us. The next one I have is the 4 times assessment sheet. According to statute, if a ditch balance becomes positive in the amount 4 times the annual assessment, then we are to shut that off unless we have a project going on. I have one of those. So I recommend that the board suspend 2026 assessment for Brookstone watershed.
I hear a motion to do
I have
that.
a question.
Okay.
If you shut that off, does that mean those people in that watershed aren't paying those taxes, or we're just not?
Correct. They will not pay an assessment this coming spring.
Okay. So we're not diverting monies.
No,
Okay.
it and the reason that one is so healthy is because in the reassessment, we actually lowered their assessments.
Okay.
So they'll probably be on there for a while.
Yeah. You motion, I second, but. Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Next report you have is a 2-sheeter. Looks something like this. Oh, I didn't get into it. All right, you don't have it. So I'll tell you about it. In our reassessments in 2024, we decided that we probably shouldn't wait 40 years in between reassessments. So we took those ditches, we split them into 10 a year over the next 5 years. The first 10 will be reassessed this year, and I'll read those off. The first set to be reassessed this year: Brookstone Watershed, Cedar Hills Watershed, Floyd Sheep, Lee Park, L.W. Jones, Mary Sutton, Scott Tile, Timber Heights, Villa Heights, Southbrook at Hazlet. That's it. I would like to do that reassessment in June. That's the same time we did that reassessment in 2024. There are only 10 of them. So what I'd like to do in June is to have our regular meeting on our regular meeting night, the first Tuesday, and then perhaps the second, third, or fourth Tuesday, have a special meeting just for that reassessment. So if you would check your calendars, I would recommend June 16th, which would be the third Tuesday of June. But if you guys would check your calendars, and then we'll set a date next time, and then we can get our notices prepared.
All right. And then notice would just go out to those affected by it.
Everybody within those watersheds, and it's still
Several.
yeah, it's still going to be in the thousands. Yeah. But it's better than 36,000. Did I give them this one? All right. You do have one that looks like this. And this is the assessments for this spring. And do we need to approve that?
Yes, we do. We have to
Okay.
certify the rule.
So we need to certify this to the auditor's office that these will be the reassessments or the assessments for this coming year.
Okay. Any questions about that?
These are all based on,
Yeah, these are
What
the
it
same
is.
amounts that we had last year and in 2024.
yeah,
I
a
heard
motion approved.
You second that? Second. Okay. Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Okay. No.
Just that we have the actual roles. This is just a synopsis of
Okay.
what we have. So if you wanted to see all of them, we can bring it up and you can look at them and see what they look like.
The rates are the same.
If
It's
it's
not
planned.
necessary.
I'm sorry, I missed the motion. I missed who did the motion. You did it and Tom seconded it.
Oh, Bob.
Okay.
He gets a liquid paper. That before you is a map of Claire Heck tile. Get a picture of it. Claire Heck is up in Greenwood. It's on and along Worthville Road, east of I-65. The surveyor is hereby reclassifying the Claire Heck regulated tile to be urban. Claire Heck is approximately 5,000 foot long east of I-65, running on and along the north side of Worthville Road. Claire Heck is part of the PR Griffith watershed. We've had a lot of activity, a lot of proposed development, and some of that development is actually switching watersheds so that the surface water would be draining across what is our are Clara Heck. So what we're looking at is if we declare it urban, then the surveyor has to come up with a report to the board to reconstruct it. So that instead of the subdrain, we'll probably look at opening it so that it can then take the runoff from those new developments. On this one, I just wanted to remind everybody that the PR Griffith is in the red, quite a bit, about 4 years worth. A study and reconstruction for this section, we forecast at about 1.3 million. So what we're going to do is utilize some of the GDI money and do our study. And then as this new development comes along, we're going to ask those developers to participate in that reconstruction. And then we can recapture some of that. Can I answer any questions on that?
I know some of that, if you get close to five, that's really a low area there.
It is a very low area, very much a bog area.
Yeah.
It's floodplain, floodway.
So you need a motion to change the classification?
I do not. Surveyor can change reclassification, and then that means I just have to come up with a report for you guys. And that report will be what we come up with in our study.
And you said one possibility, they might change it back to open.
I think it's really hard for them to utilize that ditch for that surface runoff when it's just a tile.
Okay. You have any questions?
It's a pretty deep ditch as far as from the road down to the ditch. It's about a 20-foot drop. So there's a lot of room in there.
Okay.
You have in front of you now the Brewer tile. The Brewer tile starts on the north side of Whiteland Road and runs through the high school property and then kind of shoots off. It actually goes for about a mile and a half further northeast. It opens up on the south side of Whiteland Road to an open ditch. The high school are actually in their last phase of their reconstruction up there. And I've been approached by the town who would like to put in a new sanitary sewer in between the ditch and the high school property. So that 75 foot area. So here again, the surveyor is reclassifying Brewer regulated tile from Whiteland Road north approximately 3,000 feet to the railroad crossing. This is that railroad crossing is also Chadlow. I think we've all heard of Chadlow subdivision. It's their east property line. This is within the Brewer watershed. The watershed is approximately 47,000 in its funds. It brings in 83,000 in its annual assessments. The study and reconstruction we anticipate to be approximately $1 million. In its construction, the town will be in that same area. So we thought this might be the time where we can work with them to get the tile updated and the ground graded, and perhaps we can work together on that project. So our first thing we'll be doing there again is a study. Once I declare it urban, then I owe you guys a study. So we'll be studying that and moving forward with that 3,000 foot of reconstruction plan.
Most of that's in the Park
Yeah.
Pleasant school system, but it's all low.
The majority of it is across the school.
What would you think would be necessary to replace the tile? It's years ago, it was in terrible shape and had blowholes all up and down through it.
It's a troublesome tile. And I think more because of the soils. It's very sandy. So the tile, it just butts up against itself. And that's where you would naturally get the water entering. But since the ground is so sandy, it brings the sand with it. So yearly, once or twice, we're out there filling holes where it's just sucked in the sand. That's its biggest problem. So that's one thing we would want to fix is somehow fix that so it's not sucking that sand in. Will that mean a new tile? Maybe. We'll know once we get into it. I would like to also get some definition in that ditch. So if perhaps we could then bring in some of that floodplain that they have. The school kind of built up in their new development all the way up to that floodplain. But I think if we create a little bit of relief in that as a ditch, then we can pull some of that back and they'd have a little more useful ground too.
Where does the new, didn't they do underground retention there?
There is.
Where's that dump into?
It dumps into this ditch. Well, basically on top of the ditch.
So it needs some work.
If you remember from their reconstruction, they weren't able to meet the new ordinance, but they're able to get somewhere in between the old and the new. So runoff has improved, but the ditch just needs work and it's time. And while Whiteland is in there, I think now's the time to get in there with them and get it done.
Okay.
Good.
Last but not least.
You just work in one township this time, I think.
Kind of looks that way. The map I gave you is East Grassy, regulated open drain. Looking at this because I was contacted by the city of Greenwood as a possible project. So here again, East Grassy regulated open drain surveyor hereby reclassifies a portion of East Grassy from Worthville Road north 12,000 feet to the right of way of I-65. This includes the Marcus Riley regulated tile. Again, this is within the East Grassy watershed. The watershed currently has a balance of 132,000 and brings in annually 177. Study and reconstruction is estimated at 3.1 million. But we're not going to do all that at once. What we talked with the city about is starting at Worthville Road and working 1,000 to 2,000 feet at a time as money allow. So what we want to do is study that entire 12,000, and then also as we go along, take small projects. There's not a lot of ground still available to develop in that watershed, that north part. But there are homes that are within the floodplain. So we're hoping that by reconstructing in that area, we're able to pull that floodplain in and get some of those houses out and help them with some of that flooding. With that said, we'll start in talking with Greenwood and working on that first 1,000 as well as that study for the entire thing.
Any questions? Chad, anything?
No, I don't think so.
And that's all I have other than housekeeping officers, if you guys wanted to do that now, or if you want to wait till next month.
I guess since we have a quorum, we could do it. You want?
Sure.
Well, elect officers tonight.
Be fine.
Okay. So it's basically just, chairman, and a couple of years ago, they elected me secretary. Do we need a secretary then?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Long as we have a secretary doing the secretary's duties. I guess I would entertain a motion for either same officers or nominations for new officers or
Nomination for same officers.
nine. Second. Been moved and seconded to maintain the same officers for the coming year. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
That's the end of my
Okay.
report.
I also, of course, we didn't meet in January, but do we need to approve the December minutes? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to
Yes.
approve a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. Okay. We should be ready then for DR 250333625 Pleasant Creek Townhomes.
For the record, Greg Cantwell, Johnson County Surveyor. If you would, I'd like to take DR 25333625 Pleasant Creek Townhomes and DR 25333626 Cross and Encroach Tracy Regulated Drain. They're the same project.
Okay.
The surveyor's office is, we have not received our report from the engineer that's reviewing it. So the surveyor's office is asking for an additional 30 days or till the next meeting continued March.
Yes. Like Roger always asked about notifications, so they would not need
I would ask that they not have to re-notify.
notify. Yeah.
It didn't seem like they got a big crowd out of that today's notification.
All right. We hear a motion to
A motion.
second. We'll move those two to the March meeting then. So then we're ready for DR 250183627.
Again, Greg Cantwell, Johnson County Surveyor, DR 25183627 Sagebriar, Section 5. If you remember, this is a multiple section subdivision on the east side of the city of Greenwood. It's I believe it's going into the Grub Ditch. They actually did their outlet and their ponding with Section 1. So they're refiling with us. We basically look to see if they match the master plan and everything's still going to work out the way they said it would. Our outside engineer has reviewed Section 5. It does look like it fits in with the rest of their master plan and recommends approval.
I motion to pass.
Moved seconded to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
I
Anything,
don't have anything else.
And
anybody else have anything?
I just had one thing. Who is the board secretary? Connie is the recording secretary.
Recording secretary. And then Tom, I believe, is the secretary.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to confirm, otherwise you may want to designate a secretary. I don't know if there's anything, minutes or anything that would be prepared by the board secretary, but we have our secretary, so no worries.
There's sometime after I came on, they decided we're supposed to have a secretary.
You weren't here and I did it.
Seeing no further business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
A second.
It's moved and seconded and approved. Thank you all for your attendance.
Thank you, gentlemen.